down so you don't have to buy everyone a drink afterwards.
That's yours right now.
Triton is here. Who wants to lead us in Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Josh, do you want to join me up here? Me? Yeah. We're going to sit here and do a little different format today.
Old style format, huh? So we
I
need,
talk too much when I sit next to Adam.
hey Jim. You're up there.
Oh, you want to do
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure everybody's read the skimmer this month, right?
Yes. Put it down.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be fresh.
You know, I know you guys bug me every time, but last week, about when I bring this up, last week gas went up 20 cents. Today it went up another 10 cents. 30 cents.
No election.
You guys gotta be thinking about your rates for your pool clients. So yeah, if you guys didn't read my message and stuff, we're up against some sick leave members being out right now, and our sick leave chairman, Mark Middledorf, he's recovering well from heart aorta surgery. So he's probably going to be out for a few more weeks, but he's coming back. He has an employee that's covering a lot of his pools, but who's ever got any of Mark's pools assigned, appreciate you guys for covering him and taking care of his business. We got another person coming out soon, so I think everybody's going to be having a pool. And I hope I don't have to drive all the way to La Jolla, but I know some are in La Jolla and stuff.
Or two.
Josh is going to be talking, is our guest speaker, talking about safety fences and stuff like that. I'm interested to hear what he's got to say because I still have some fences that they don't close as they should. And I think he said there's some simple adjustments you can make and stuff. So I'm interested to hear what you got to say about fencing and stuff, child fencing. And it's only in the middle of February, but it's going to be April, May, pretty quick, and people are going to be getting back in their pools. So this is good timing. So we learn, about proper safety fencing and stuff. And again, if you didn't read my message, I wanted to give a big shout out to the tabletop committee. I thought that was a great success. There was an outstanding turnout. Everybody helped set up the tables. Great education classes and stuff. I sat in the same room. Conveniently, I sat in the same room and had all three classes in the same room. I even stayed and helped tear down afterwards. I haven't done that before.
Thank you.
That was really good. Thanks, you guys. That was great. That was great. And again, I closed my message with, we got rules about sick leave and quarterly meetings attendance, and fines will be enforced. So make sure you guys are attending at least, if not every meeting, at least one meeting a quarter, so you don't get fined. We've been I think over the last 2 or 3 years, probably because of COVID, I don't know what the cause was, but we've been very soft about fining people, but we're in full stream again, so make sure you guys are making those attendance and stuff.
If we get fined, does that mean we get to wait to do another 3 months before we gotta go do another meeting?
No, you gotta show up once a quarter. It's once a quarter, that's all.
If it gets 2 quarters, we'll throw your ass out.
I just thought maybe I could pay $100 fine and go in.
It's $150.
There's
I
not
actually have the standing rules right here if you
No,
like.
I'm with it.
I'll be reading
I'm
to
not
you.
gonna- I look at him, I'll get
And same with the sick leave rules and stuff like that, just, you know, if you guys aren't aware of it, you know, it's on the website, you can get all the rules of our chapter and stuff. If anybody has any questions, call Paul.
I'll answer.
Please call John.
Call John. Jim,
What?
what's our treasury report?
Treasury report is we're doing okay financially.
It's in the skimmer, I think.
It's all in the,
It's all in the skimmer.
there you go. Any questions? John? Yeah, well, we know. We've
We
already
know,
discussed it.
yeah, we got charged, the educational fund got charged $300, which should have come out of the general fund for last month's meeting.
They just used the wrong credit card, that's all.
right. And
Oh, okay.
the education fund wants a fine for solving that problem.
Okay. Dylan's not here. He's celebrating his sister's birthday in Hawaii. I just talked to him today. Any questions or anything on the minutes in the skimmer?
Make a motion that we pass this.
I second it.
All right, there we go. Minutes are approved.
Let's
Thank
get the
you.
minutes tonight.
That's why you guys are filming everything.
The video camera.
And then he's gonna look at it.
The minutes are gonna be on the video.
Oh,
I mean,
Like they are every month.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how he does it.
Although he missed everything I said last month.
Mark Curran's not here yet, so maybe we can come back to it. We can come back to him if he makes it here. Mike Harris, you got anything on Region 7 report? All right, this is gonna be a nice, quick meeting.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to introduce the chapter supporters?
Yeah, the chapter supporters are here. If you want to stand there and introduce yourself, and say hi.
Come up
I think
there
it's
and-
just the two of us.
Yeah, I'm Jeff, I'm the owner of Triton Water Renewal, we do reverse osmosis. Over COVID, we actually got a second trailer. We have 2 trailers rolling in San Diego right now, we did a good job on the Marine Corps base, for the Marines, the milling down pool on base there, over November and December. This is Lauren, he's my head sales guy. So yeah, we're hitting the ground running with RO. If you have any questions about cards? Yeah, we've got a lot of cards.
Are you booked up for a while, or what's your wait?
Right now, I've only, we've got openings next week. But normally
Wow.
by March, we start filling up. Last year, in March, we were starting to fill in July.
What's the cost on it, $20,000?
Right now, our base cost is $895, and that includes chemical rebalancing. Normally with, I leave it up to you guys, if you guys are really involved. If you guys tell us what you want us to believe, or if you wanna do it. But we try to never leave any pool without any chlorine in it, because we neutralize the chlorine before we get started. Normally we don't know where the filter cleaning's at, just leave some filter there or something like that. So we always have chlorine. And then always we work on it. So it's been my experience that you guys all like to fine tune the CYA and all that kind of stuff. I found it best to see that up to.
You guys do the salt?
That's what I was gonna ask.
We've done it in the past,
For a small fee, obviously?
well, we charge 20 a bag if we do it. Our main worker guy, he laid his motorcycle down 2 weeks ago and tore his ACL. So he's the bag fuel, so we're probably not gonna be offering that until he's fully rehab. If there's no stairs, I mean, Laura and I can obviously do it. So we do offer it. We just, after an RO, what we normally like to do is we never like to slam a pool with all the salt. Just do half of it and then leave it there for you guys to add it and bring it up nice and slow, just because we don't want to overshoot it. But yeah, we do offer it. Part of it just depends on placement of the pool, where it's at, how far,
Have you guys experienced any increase in business because of all the hard rains we had? People that have a bank and washes
yeah.
everything in? Yeah.
Well, we don't do any of that. If it's green or dirty water, the trailers can't handle any of that.
Okay.
Just because the RO's filtering down to like 0.001 microns.
Okay.
So it would just clog within like a minute or two.
I think it's mostly, my experience, it's mostly been the phosphates that washes off the hill and
yeah.
stuff. There's a lot of phosphates. I just put a bunch of phosphate remover in there. Usually cleans it up pretty quick.
Yeah, yep. And we offer that too for customers. And
Okay.
it's yeah. But yeah, as far as increase of business, last year was the busiest year we've had, and it's just been. And that's what kind of led to going out, getting the second trailer, and expanding. So we're trying to hit the ground running coming into this spring, and really, get to everybody.
You live in Poway?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen your truck over there.
We go as far as like Alpine, Temecula,
Oh, wow.
Solana Beach, Carlsbad, Chula Vista. We go everywhere.
Cool.
I've gone as far north as Orange County. There is another trailer operating in Orange County right now. So we kind of like, I try not to edge in on them, and they'll try to edge in on me, so it's, how long have you been doing this? I started in 2016. And, yeah, the first couple of years were pretty rough, but it's been each year's been growing, and, I went out and got my contractor's license with CSLB for water purification. Just because I also started adding on whole house purification. So we do copper work, we do, stuff with catalytic carbon and copper, titanium, which helps the pool, because if the water's better coming from the city, it's gonna help you guys with pool chemistry, moving forward. So if you have any, it's basically, it's a dual-edged system, but this is what the pool system would look like, and what the whole house, and this is the post, but it's basically copper and titanium, and you're oxygenating the water and adding copper. So it raises your copper level up to about 0.4, 0.5. And yeah, I've had both systems on my house for about 3 years since just the beginning of the company, and it's pretty neat technology. If you have customers that are chlorine sensitive, or they have kids that have skin issues and they want to get away from it, and price is not an issue, it's a good alternative.
Cool.
Awesome, thank you.
Can you hang that out so we can see it?
Yeah, take like obviously the copper, that looks like a piece of plates or the titanium.
Brianna, are you trying to get out of?
Well, according to John MacArthur, I'm not chapter supporter, so.
Oh,
She's
no.
right here and hang out.
She's on a special level above all.
So that doesn't fall on me.
So she has to be asked later. So ask her now.
You guys all know who I am.
Yeah.
My guys are free, Superior, Oklahoma. Nice to see you guys again. If you need me, call me. Otherwise, Josh, you have the place.
No, but Brianna, we have a new chapter member, Nick. He doesn't know you.
Okay, let's stand up together. Hi, Nick. We met at the bar. Superior, Oklahoma. Originating from the east, the North County Coastal. Welcome, welcome. If you need anything, let me know.
There you go.
Thank you, Bree. I'm Josh Parks with Lifesaver Pool Fence SoCal. We install safety removable fence around pools, and I'll talk a little bit more in a minute.
Thanks, you guys. I talked a little bit about sick leave. Paul, do you have anything else to add?
Well,
Because Mark's not here.
yeah, Mark's not here, and I did want to say that I've been trying to keep in touch with him, and to some extent, and I called him the other day, and he answered the phone, and he was talking a little bit slow, but he wanted to go through what happened to him, and he's lucky he's alive. Now, he's had apparently his aorta split. It's called the aortic dissection, where it starts leaking. And he went in to the doctor and had chest pains, and they sent him home, and they didn't find anything at that point. So he came back. I think I'll get over here somewhere. So he came back a few days later, like 5 days later, and they found out that they ran a CAT scan and found out what he had. The doctor then told him that every day that you, from the first day you think you have it, it's like a 20% chance that you're not going to survive every day that you go past that. So he's lucky he survived. And he's doing okay. It's going to be some time, I guess, maybe a couple of months before he'll be back. But he's good spirits, and he's told me he had 3 kids and like 7 grand. I think 3 or 7 kids.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So I'm really happy he's surviving, and his kids and grandkids will be happy that he's going to recover.
And Carla's wife's been very supportive of helping and stuff.
Yes, I talked to her the first few times
And me too.
regarding the cards and everything.
Yeah.
So it's looking more going forward with him getting better quickly.
Good.
We also have Mark Fleming. He's been on about 3 times already. His hip was replaced, and he said when the PT guys got on it, that at some point the PT people overdid something they shouldn't have done, or whatever. And now it's worse than it was before. So he's going to have that repaired. I don't know what that means. It may be a new hip or something. Who knows? He's trying to sell his business, and at this point he hasn't been able to do that. So he's got 7 schools, and most of them are in the kind of from La Jolla down to Point Loma over to maybe San Carlos up to University City, that kind of area, Tierra Santa. So it's kind of a mix in the middle of our zone, kind of. So, you know, if you service that area, expect you might get a couple of them. So we'll have to see what happens, because we have more pools than people right now with the 2 of them out. And we'll just have to take care of it. Tom Richardson also has an issue, but he's trying to cover himself without going out. He's got a shoulder issue, and he's working with PT to try to physical therapy to hopefully get him back going. I guess he was telling me he was trying to do his pulls with 1 arm. So, and he said, I'm trying not to go out because I know you got problems. So hopefully that'll be fine. So it's really important, and anybody here, and like James will know, anybody here could go down. You think you're invincible, you may not be invincible. And it's great to have the coverage that's provided. And so, you know, it's great that we have people who will provide that coverage, because you may need it sometime, you may not know about it. So, anyways, that's my report.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, and one thing, the chapter is going to be getting a bunch more yellow cards, because everybody should have like 20 yellow cards with them all the time. You get a new customer, you make out a yellow card. You get a new dog in the backyard, you change your yellow card. Kenny needed some yellow cards, and it took an act of Congress to get him like 80 of them, and he needs 100. So we should have 1,000 of those on hand to be able to give them out to you at any one time. The other thing with going out on sick leave, you are able to charge the sick leave person for the chemicals you use. But you need to start at the beginning and put down on your, because when you fill out the yellow card, you should be putting, I put half a gallon and 3 tabs in on the yellow card, and a pint of acid. And you should make a copy of that and keep it for your own records. When you're done, you should go through and put the wholesale price of all those things if you want to charge them. It's optional. If you want to charge them, you can charge them for the chemicals you use. But you need to do it from the beginning. You can't just throw out an arbitrary number and say, you owe me $500. There has to be specific amounts matching the yellow card.
Wholesale.
Wholesale prices. Doesn't matter where you buy it, it's your wholesale price.
Yes, sir.
No, we can't charge them for anything other than the chemicals we
read the SIGMAL rules. It's in there.
I just wanted to say something real fast, that Middledorf's cars, probably the best ones I've ever seen. They were dialed in, I had no questions, it was dialed in really well. I like that, that's the way it should be done, like, and it's easy as you do it, as you get them. If you don't, spend an hour in front of the TV with a couple beers or whiskey and, you know, get her done. But yeah, really outstanding job on that this time. I just texted and said we're talking shit about it.
I got a question about the yellow cars.
Yes.
There's some older ones and newer ones.
Oh, yeah.
They have a little bit different stuff.
This I think it's Rev 09 on this?
Yeah.
That's the newest one I think we have.
What's the map look?
No,
Yeah.
the problem with these is, and we might wanna look into this first. Last year, John Baldwin made the mistake of complaining about the yellow cards, and we told him that he needed to come up with some changes. He did come up with some changes, but we've never gotten it. So, we probably need to follow up with him, because we buy these from IPSSA Inc. We can print our own. It's just, these are available. So maybe we need to look at what he has. You might look at them and go, why is there a map page on here? What is it, Thomas Brothers? Who is Thomas? He's not my brother.
We can get away with the older ones.
Yeah, you can get away with any of them. It's just the basic information.
Yeah, some of them have, phone numbers. They'll have a space for the phone number of the pool, phone number of the sick person going out. Some do, some don't. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as with most things, we can come up with better, because these are generic. They just made up a generic one. We can come up with our own that probably has everything on it that we want, but we need to look at it and say, the board needs to look at it and go, well, we don't need this, we don't need this, we need this and this.
Yeah.
And we can get them printed up, if we get 3,000 of them, they're this much, as opposed to 100, there's this much.
Yeah,
And have them on hand.
that's a good idea.
Then everybody needs to change, their old ones to the new ones, right?
No,
You should look at your old ones and make sure they're current. Is the combination still the same? Do they still have the same dollar?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing what kind of response I was gonna get out of everybody.
You have to change all yours.
I'm not very confident.
Don't make me in charge if you make me in charge. Fred, all the yellow cards, everybody bring them.
Anything else on that subject? Okay. And then, continue education, manufacturer's donation. John, take it away again.
Okay, we have a lot of money in the continuing education fund. I hope everybody is attending the Pentair seminars next week. They are full, the backup is full, everything's full. So I hope you're going to them and you're submitting your form when you're done to get reimbursed. Also, the Western Pool and Spa Show is coming up, and we will reimburse you $250 plus the cost of the show. So if you just want to go up there and walk around, we'll give you $250. If you want to go to classes, we'll pay for the classes and $250. So we need to utilize this money. The other thing we had talked about was possibly renting a bus to go up to the Western and take people up there. I've gotten 2 responses, so that's not going to happen. But the other thing that I talked to Mike about was we are going to do a CPR class, which would be open up to, depending on how it works out, all the other chapters, your wives, whoever else, and the continuing education fund would be used.
However, it will be a reserved.
Right, it'll
fee,
basically
and
be.
Will be a limited amount, so
Yeah.
we'll have somewhere around, probably max 50, probably be not more than that anyways, here. Because for every 8 students, they need 1 instructor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
instructors.
So that's why we have to reserve.
Well, we're still discussing that. I mean, I had another thought of possibly doing it before a meeting and then having a dinner at the meeting to encourage people to come. But maybe people couldn't come, maybe your wife works and she doesn't get off till 6 o'clock, so maybe we need to do it on a Saturday or something, I don't know, we would have to work it. Or maybe we could do it 2 different times. We could do it in May and then again in October. Because it is important for everybody to be CPR certified and also learn how to use the AED machines in case you do have a heart attack.
Did we just do that like a year ago somewhere?
No, we did it at the tabletop.
Last
2 years ago?
time was at the Town and Country.
That was 3 years ago.
So if you did it then, your good certification is good for 2 years. So if you haven't done it since then your certification is null and void. So that's why.
I need it every year, I do.
Yeah.
And that's great, and some, because if you could add the, first aid along with it, it's great. What we'll do though is just focus on the CPR aspect, AED aspect.
And it's about 2 hours.
Yeah, a couple hour class.
Not that big a deal. And the other thing is, if anybody has any other ideas, things for the continuing education. And also, since I'm getting the guest speakers here, if anybody has any ideas for guest speakers at the meetings. We talked to Triton about possibly doing, coming to one of our meetings and going a little more in depth on how they do their water sanitized, reverse osmosis, the whole thing. What I plan to do is basically just go down our chapter supporters and check with any of them that want to talk. And then after that, go out. If there's somebody that you're interested in, let me know. I'll look into it. I'm looking at getting a pool route broker to come talk to us because we have some older members who are selling their routes. And some of the members who try and sell their routes have found that you may charge enough money to make you happy, but when you go to sell it, nobody wants to buy it because you don't charge enough money. So you may need to start 5 years out going, I need to gradually raise my rates when I go to sell them. They look attractive to somebody buying them. And the same thing with contractors board. There are schools out there who will pay for you to get your contractor's license. Have one of them come and talk to us about what contractor's license you need. We did have somebody at the tabletop, but contractor board, but that's some other idea.
Cool.
I have a question. What funds are education fund?
The $45,000 one.
Rebates and
It's $50,000.
50,000.
Well, I thought it was going down since we're not getting like manufacturers.
You guys have to read this.
Have you ever read the
financial
skimmer?
report.
Okay, next one, we're gonna have a class on how to read the skimmer. The money is acquired, one, we get money from PEP. They give us money for every purchase that we make at PEP. You don't have to do anything, they just give us money. In the past, Pentair gave us filters for the amount of product that we sold. That was illegal.
That's what I'm
So
saying, I've lost that revenue.
last year I talked to Mark Arlane and he said he would just give us the filters. I don't know if he will do that again this year as a donation, because we can accept donations, but we can't take rebates.
But
Or
we
again,
don't need to keep track of the
you don't need to keep track of anything.
It's just gonna-
It's just shake hands. The other thing is, if you guys used up some of this money, it'd make it a lot easier when I go talk to somebody and say, we spent all this money on education, we need more money. When I talk to them now, they're going, aren't you the guys with $50,000? Like,
I'm surprised it's that high, I thought it'd be going down since we're not
It's
getting
not.
rebates.
There's another, we did get another big chunk of money from Pentair, just because corporations don't always know what they're
You'll
doing.
never just make a donation.
They're giving us donations.
Right, okay.
That's all it is.
Right.
We do not do rebates anymore because it is illegal. All donations.
Got it.
Yep.
That was my
You got that on
concern,
camera.
the rebates that the fund might be dropping a lot. Okay.
Adam, you want to talk a little bit about blood drive?
Yeah.
I think everybody's heard it, but maybe Nick hasn't because he's transferring over to us.
Alright, so every week we donate to San Diego Blood Bank. We do breakfast 8 a.m. at Lemon Grove Cafe. It's on the chapter, and you also get a point for donating blood towards your continuing education. I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, but it's the only chapter that pushes the EU's continuing education units. So we did a vote, and you can get points that way as well. It's not enough to get to the full amount that you need, but it's supplements. We donate to the El Cajon location, and I recommend, if you have any questions, you can call me. My cell phone's in the book. We're on the web, on the interweb. And it's yeah, on the Google. And so basically,
Aloha.
we have to personally go in for that day or call that day and schedule your appointment. Usually, we tell everybody between 9 and 10 o'clock. It's just a window. It doesn't have to be exact. Nobody's ever been turned away. And but they want everyone to make their private appointments. And then we go in and we have breakfast, and then from there we shoot over there and all donate, and then we go on our merry way. And it's a great opportunity to help people out. We have our illustrious Jimbo there. He's a recipient of the red juice, and is here with us today because of that. We love you, and it's a great opportunity to help people out. It happens every 8 weeks.
Where do you meet on
In the morning, Lemon Grove Cafe, 8 a.m. Yes. And the next one will be the Saturday after next month's meeting. So
18th.
it'll be March, what?
18th.
Thank you. So,
We don't really need appointments, so.
for what? For breakfast, but not for donating. You're supposed to have your email system. Are you chairman of this organization? Just checking, make sure.
You always talk like
They do take some,
You know.
Exactly. I gotta say something about this stuff too. I was talking with John, and he mentioned chapter supporters. Guess what? You guys have blood in you, and you need blood. So I don't think we've ever told our chapter supporters to show up as well.
They have.
Yeah.
It's the same 4 guys.
Bree has shown up
So that's
many
4
times.
So that's 5 guys every week. But let me tell you guys what happened to me over Christmas. I had a small procedure done, and I actually lost a lot of blood because I had some residual bleeding from it. I got my first blood infusion over Christmas break. So the only reason why that blood is in the hospital sitting there is because these old old farts. This guy's got
Only
20
4 of us
gallons.
that let us show up.
Not
Thank
you.
you.
Those 2.
Paul's got
they're not
23.
that old.
My
Well,
boy is
anyway, the
like
only
me,
reason
boy.
why that blood is sitting in the hospital is
Yeah,
because
he
these guys
just
take a
played.
Saturday afternoon
He doesn't
and
give
go and get blood.
Paul's donated 200
So
gallons.
believe me,
Platelets.
I was, and they're always critically low, and you always hear, oh, they're critically low, and this guy, I told him to come. show
Yeah.
up. He won't even- He's probably afraid of needles. Now,
Yeah.
giving blood is the easy part. Listening to Adam talk for 45 minutes on Saturday morning.
Oh,
You're so happy to go give blood at that point.
Don't give anything to get out of that
I don't
restaurant.
remember you complaining last
I
night.
know
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
only
why you
had-
weren't there.
No,
That's
you
because
weren't
I had
there.
blood.
You weren't there
You said
either.
it back.
I can donate again in March, and I couldn't donate for 3 weeks, but also education points. I got 4 education points last year. I gave a gallon of blood.
Where's your 4?
But
Maybe
all
half
you guys
that.
sitting on 0 education points right now,
Zero.
come in March. Chapter supporters too, I know I have a few tonight, but we'll buy you guys breakfast. We have such a big group that we could be like a major donor for the blood donation. So, as somebody who got blood and is very thankful that it was there in the hospital, believe me, you take it for granted. But when your ass is sitting in the hospital and you get to have to need a blood infusion, it's only there because we take our Saturdays and we go and we listen to Adam talk and everything, and we donate the blood. And if you're afraid of needles and all that, just get over it. It's not a big deal. But I gave a gallon last year, 1 gallon, doing all the donations.
Wow.
And I got my first blood infusion ever over Christmas.
Technically only six pints.
I got a gallon, right here, 1 gallon.
8 pints is a gallon.
So anyway, and I got my education points, so you can literally get all your education points just doing blood donors. So March, I wanna see a lot of people there.
You could.
In March. Count 'em.
New mills.
You get 6 every year, that's 12.
Yeah.
And,
It's the same old guys, where it's the 5 of us, we all get up here, we say, come.
You
donate,
can
come
donate any day. You
Yeah.
don't have to come. You still get the point.
You get the free
It's just, we're
breakfast.
giving you a free breakfast.
Free breakfast, you get
Yeah.
the education, oh, you'll get.
Any day you wanna go, you can go.
But also chapter
Gotta tell us
sports,
about
but that's
it.
something we've never, and I talked to John, like, hey, can chapter sports go too? Yeah.
Totally.
And guess what?
Your wife, your next door neighbor.
I wanna see now that we got 50,000 in the bank in the education fund, I wanna see
If you're-
20 guys there every week, 20 guys every week should be there.
If your kids are, living 16 years of age or older and weigh at least 110 pounds, I think it is, they can donate.
Bring the kids,
My
bring the
son,
old lady.
daughter-in-law, and grandchild.
Back when I donated, I brought my daughter with me.
My grandchild couldn't donate, she wasn't quite 16 yet, she was only like
16 months.
15 months, but my son and daughter-in-law came too and donated blood, so.
The only reason why Bud's in the hospital right now, waiting for you to show up, is because guys like us go every single week. So, March, I wanna see all you old farts in there. You're gonna need blood soon.
Young guys too.
Is it every week?
And young
Every-
folks.
Eight weeks.
Every other month.
Yeah.
So
And young
March,
folks.
it's
Unless
after
you
the,
do platelets
it's
like
after
Paul.
the meeting in March, so we'll have a meeting in March and it's that next.
Okay.
Unless you do platelets like Paul, where you could go in every
I can
2
go,
weeks.
I can go every
Show
month.
up,
No,
it's
plasma, you
fun
go every
time.
2 weeks.
You get a free breakfast.
Platelets, you
You
go.
get
Makes
paid.
it worthwhile.
Yeah.
I need to do it on Sunday.
And go donate blood.
They're open on
You still get credit for
Yeah.
They're okay.
You can do
donating
it
blood?
anytime, just like I
What?
said,
You still get credit for
critical.
donating blood
When I was in the
towards the
hospital
gallon
doing
of
blood, they're like.
Oh, yeah,
we're like
the platelets,
critical on blood.
you gotta get
18
double.
gallons.
We have a big group of guys.
I got like 23 or something. It's ridiculous.
Whatever we gotta do.
Did you ever get a
Chapter
hat?
supporters, and guess
I got a
what?
hat,
Chapter
I got a
supporters,
coat, I got a
you're gonna get
sweatshirt,
to
I
talk
got.
to members, you're gonna have our ears, you're gonna tell us about your business. It's gonna be a win-win
Good
for
point.
everybody,
Good
so.
point.
We got your
Nobody
message.
shows up in March, I'm
We
never
got your
gonna say
message.
another word about it, if it's the same four farts, then I'm done trying to promote it, but believe me.
We
as
got your
somebody
message.
who just
Thank
got
you.
a blood infusion,
Yeah.
All right.
I'm very lucky to be here just because of getting that infusion.
Cool.
Come on.
Thank you,
Thanks for that.
thank you. And Nick, you've been hearing us talk a lot about continuing education. I don't know if you had that at the other chapter?
Actually, I know about it.
Okay,
Yeah, so
because,
I'm up to date.
Yeah, he knows about it.
We did all this talking and you knew about it already?
Hey, but I want to encourage you, Nick. This October, we're having a vote for the next board coming in for next year. And if you want,
Nominate Marty.
if you wanted to contribute to that, think about it. Think about it.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay?
Appreciate that.
All right. New members, Michael, we got a transfer.
Yes, we have, we have a transfer that's waiting your signature, which I have, which.
I need the
we'll
form.
get- Here we go.
Didn't like cameras, so there's no question.
You got a pen?
No, I don't have a pen.
I think you're,
What kind of printers you guys use?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a
then-
mimeographed copy.
You got tissue paper?
So need print and then sign. And then we also have Daniel with Deep Pool, so, did they contact you?
He asked me for an email yesterday, he was supposed to show up today, and I guess he forgot to show up.
No, I'm talking, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so he contacted me, it's in member services, so he should have been contacted today. So, we should have another member, part of San Diego here.
How many times do I have to
by
sign?
next meeting.
What's our member
Just print and
count?
sign.
What's
That
this?
would be up to the secretary to print off the roster.
Do I need to sign this one
Probably
too?
about 50.
No.
Just that one and that one.
I'm old like you, I can't.
Yeah, you
so
need
I have to
glasses.
put my glasses
Yeah, I know.
on, But I just need one signature and one.
I got that.
Print your name.
I got
Then
that.
you're good. So, okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
get, so Nick, I'll take this, I'll scan it, fax it in.
Welcome to San Diego.
Blue card. Blue
Yeah,
card.
That's on, actually, once you get.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Once you get the email, then you can send it to him.
Okay. If I get an email, yeah.
I don't know. No, he's already in. Nick, you want to stand up and just give a couple minutes about your history and stuff in the pool business?
30 seconds.
Not a real big talker, but just been doing this for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And so, do repairs, service pools, hold babies, rescue seals on the Saturday and Sundays.
Wow.
So, yeah. But, just, had a lot of pools in Del Mar, had over like 100 and some odd pools in Del Mar. Sold off a lot of them, lost a lot of them. My pool history has kind of shifted to Poway, so gonna trade some pools out of Del Mar into Poway to make the route a little bit more tighter.
Nice.
So that's why I'm switching from North County Coastal to this chapter.
Cool.
But I was in this chapter originally, about 20 years ago. So,
Thank you.
thanks for having me.
Thanks. You're all signed in, right?
Yeah.
You're all good?
Yeah.
You got everything, all the forms filled out, whatever we have to do? Blue card turned in?
Oh, blue card last year.
Once,
I turned it in,
once,
yeah.
once, the email gets to Paul, then that will happen.
Once you notice.
Okay.
When
All
are
right.
blue cards due? They due now?
April and October.
It's in the skimmer.
Every month.
This entire meeting is in the city.
Yes, it is.
I know. Entertainment committee. Adam doesn't get to talk, it's just Brianna.
Picnic is underway, stay tuned.
Picnic?
Please let Adam talk, he's
Alright,
dying to
so-
talk.
I can tell.
Alright. So, we're actually in the process now of setting up a text thread amongst all the presidents. Everybody's involved in setting this up. We're gonna be doing Sancy Lakes. We have the island, completely reserved now. We paid for that, and we're gonna be, so far we locked on a caricature artist again, which seemed pretty successful last year. We have a jumper for kidlets. I made 4 calls, got 4 bids, and found one for a really good price that are legally able to do it there, and they're actually recommended by Sancy Lakes. And if you are looking, and it'll be May 13th, we're gonna be putting out a flyer very soon. We are gonna be catering it with the same people that we did last year, which was here at Pavilion 6 or 7, whatever that was. And then, we're gonna be hammering everybody for donations and raffles and some other options and ideas and things like that.
That is
for
Mother's Day
activities.
weekend, so we will have a special something, we're not gonna tell you guys, but we will have a
Yes.
special something for the moms that do come, so.
May 13th was a weekend that we had to come up with because of the dates and scheduling issues and conflicts and that sort of stuff. So, we're working on it, it's gonna happen, it's gonna be pretty awesome. If you guys, know about Sancy Lakes, there's lots of, rentals, they've got houseboats, they've got slots.
Houseboats?
Oh yeah, they got houseboats there that you can rent.
Cabin.
You know, first come, first served when availability is, I don't know, you have to call them directly for May 13th. I will have my RV there, in a slot, families get as well next to us, so if you guys are gonna do that, it'd be a great opportunity for you guys to reserve a spot on the 13th of May. Fishing, there's lots to do there, lots to do with your kidlets, if you got little ones. And, yeah, so we're underway now, making progress on that, so we'll keep you posted.
Yeah,
What?
how many people we expecting?
Well, it's a regional, party, we're
So
looking
it's
at
not just San
probably the
Diego
same.
chapters, so.
Like
No,
we did
yeah,
last
it's gonna
year?
be
Yeah.
All the chapters, this time,
Okay.
well, it's the same as we did last year.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
regional party now, it's exploded, so, you know, 50 maybe, is that kind of the range we're looking at? We've got the island, and then we've also got an adjacent area, part of the island, it has like I don't know if it's got a water area on the island, but there's gonna be a lot to do, there's a pavilion there, and, it's gonna be pretty nice. So-
Are we doing it like last year though? You're talking 50 members and then significant others are invited also?
As many members, well, we haven't figured out a cap yet,
Okay.
but, I
We're
mean,
estimating about 150 people.
yeah, about 150 total.
Okay, okay.
So 75 people show up at the +1, or maybe just individuals.
Okay.
We don't know yet whether there's gonna be cornhole or not. My wife doesn't
Yeah.
know. Listen, my wife, it was successful last year, but it was an effort because the idiots that didn't wanna show up on time when they were ready to play made my wife pull her hair out. So she's like, I'm not doing it again this year, but if we want it, we're gonna be taking a vote and figure that out. But there's also horseshoe pits there, there's other things that are going on, we haven't decided yet on the entertainment.
We'll have the
But it's a
hula,
lot of
we'll have the
effort.
hula hoops ready for
There
you.
you go. Egg toss for bread.
Anything.
Get real regulation rules.
You know, maybe we'll have like you gotta drink a gallon of like fake blood or something, I don't know,
So shits and giggles, so. But no, it's a lot of work to do that stuff, so it's really about
Yeah.
wrangling people last year. If I can talk her into it, I will.
We'll work on it.
We're working on it, so we've got lots of options. And if you guys have any options or ideas, feel free to contact me or Brianna, and we would love to entertain something new. I mean, who knows? You know, what we can do out there, so.
Cool.
So far. And and Christmas party, you wanna talk a little bit about it?
Yeah,
It's
so
early, but.
It is early, but you guys know how it goes with Christmas party planning. It takes a village to get it together. I know we talked about it a little bit last month, and I know our turnout in this meeting isn't that great, but maybe we can do something in the newsletter, Paul, for next month. I just need to get an honest head count of who would like a Christmas party. It is your guys' party. If y'all don't wanna come to a party and y'all don't wanna have a Christmas party, I will not be upset. I am completely okay with that. Adam will not be upset. If we wanna keep it super low key, I can do that too. We had a lot of requests from people this year to mix it up again, have a theme. Adam and I have a great theme in mind, but it is gonna be, if we're gonna go through all the work to have this theme, it will be a really bitchin' fun night. But I need commitments that you guys are gonna be there. Cause it is a lot of energy that I do out of my love for y'all, that Adam knows out of all, the love for y'all, and we love to have a good time and be there for you guys. But again, if y'all don't wanna do that, that's totally fine. We won't do that. So Paul agrees maybe get something out in the newsletter next year, or next month, about it, and just try to get like some sort of feedback and on this head count of who would actually like to attend, the Christmas party again.
Yeah.
That was great.
This is falling on yours, Lynn, because as you know, here tonight, we had really the largest chapter out of all the chapters. We had a maxed out party last year that just happened. However, there's probably more chapter supporters than there was than members. And we don't mind it, we love it, but the seats were full. However, it's a members party. So we wanna really try to motivate members with their plus ones and their significant others, whatever, to show up to a party that so much effort has been put into, in order to run it and put it on. I mean, the chapter supporters were absolutely phenomenal. We went through the gifts 3 different times because we had so many gifts, and it was unbelievably generous. But we wanted to see more members there, and so we were thinking about options in order to get people to be there, like a check perhaps, $100 check. You write it, say, hey, you know what? If you don't show up, this money goes to the donation fund for whatever.
We write the check, wait a minute.
Yeah, you write a check, so that guarantees you to show up to the party. Well, I'm not just talking, I'm just saying you, not specifically, but, that way we get people to show up, because, I don't wanna lose $100 check, but it's an incentive for people to come to the party that's been put on for them. So, and then you get there, you get the check back, you get to tear it up, and you get to have a wonderful evening. If not, that money goes into the fund for either the swim fund or something else, or the chapter, because we can incur, money for the chapter, into the general fund that way too, so, there's a few things we gotta work out logistically, but, yeah, so I think it's a great idea, but we'll be in touch with that, just kinda, if you got any ideas, again, feel free to let us know, and.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Bree.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks, Bree.
Stop it.
James, you wanna talk a little bit about water safety briefly?
I'm gonna defer to Josh since he is talking about pool fencing, which
Okay.
is a hallmark of water safety.
Okay. We'll save it for that. Paul, you wanna update us on website review? I talked to Gary just a little bit today, and you and I talked before the meeting.
Gary and I are pretty much ready to go at this point. I can give you a run through what the site looks like at this point. We're ready to pretty much cut it over. There is some expenses involved. It's about, the first year would be like $11 a month. The second year would be probably under $25 a month. For the, it's up on what's called Wix, which gives you a nice view and a nice design, which Gary has done most of the work. I've helped him in. We've integrated the referral website into the chapter website. So if you want, I can show you, maybe there are any questions, or I can go ahead and fire it up and see what we have going here. take a second.
So we'll do this for a couple minutes, and then Josh is gonna be talking to us about, water safety and child fencing and stuff like that. And then we'll do raffles.
Should be, yeah, it's warming up, I guess.
Ken, we had talked about this website as far as whether it needed to be secured or what we needed. I mean, the reality is, most people, aside from us, don't really care what's on this website. If a customer is looking for us, they'll go there, and that's the only reason they
Yeah.
do it. So I don't think we need to get into passwords and all sorts of protection, because the problem is, the harder we make it, the less likely members are to look at it.
I agree. No, I agree.
So I think we just need to keep it kind of like it is now. If you want to go to the website, type in the website, and you look at it.
I think Gary and Paul they have a simplified version of it.
Well, there's three different ways we could go. One is we don't have any passwords or anything, and that's the way we've had it for like over 20 years.
Right.
Second one is we have a password that we would use only on the members section, and currently we have that set up this way. We can pull that off if we want. And the third way is to have a different category where we could have categories of members, chapter supporters, and board or sick leave, and we could make some pages not viewable by some of the people. That might be something we could always change over that in the future if we want to move forward towards that. But I think John's right. We don't want to have anybody have a barrier, or we don't want to have phone calls going, well, what's my password, or what is the password to get on, or they just not look at the skimmer demo. So,
I mean, we send them the skimmer now, they can look at any skimmer now,
right.
and they don't, and there's nothing there. So,
Well, the only issue might be the financials, which are on there.
Yeah.
And we could set it up to where the skimmer that we send out has the financials, and then when it gets loaded up on the website, I remove that page, and it goes up to the public. I don't know.
well, the one thing about the financials is, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah.
And if the customer is looking at this,
Mhm.
they see we actually have money, they realize we're a legitimate organization.
That could be.
If they looked on there and saw we had $8, they'd go, why am I dealing with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
They see legitimate money, which we have, then they realize that we're a legitimate organization and we're somebody that we need to deal with. And they can also link on to IPSSA Inc. and see all the web pages there to get a feeling for why they should go with somebody who's a member of this.
So anyways, here's as the way the home page stands right now. It talks about education and trade shows. So the public would be seeing this page if they look at it. Oh, there's Adam. We got a video of him.
Talking too.
We're at chapter supporters, chapter supporter logos.
I'll give you autographs.
Yeah, with links to their companies.
Triton's up there.
Yeah, all the chapter supporters are on there. And then we have some of the major companies below that are associate members, and you can see all the associate members. This links over to IPSSA.com, so I'll just bail out on that right now. The other thing that this is part of this is the Pool Pro section, which should show up here.
Yeah.
So you can go in and anybody got a zip code they want to pull up? 92109. Okay, that's Pacific Beach, and it should show up with people's photos. And these are the people who service that zip code according to the blue cards that also want referrals. If they don't want referrals, they shouldn't be on there. I'm sorry?
And even people that don't service that area.
Are you guys?
They wouldn't be on this.
Well, does Mark service that?
Does who?
Evidently he does.
Well, his blue card has them servicing it at this point.
He doesn't serve.
Mark Lewis, yeah.
Well, maybe he should be removed. He can be removed. It's not, it's not that easy to update all of these things, but he probably should be removed, yes. So if you go back and you can look at another zip code like La Jolla, where there's more people in that zip code.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, a bunch. And then we have we have a list of I think this works, like leak detection. this is mostly chapter supporters that will be down here as well. So, and we have you know, a couple others like remodelers. It's kind of a bigger category. So these are chapter supporters that show up in this category. Then we have water safety. So the general public would be hopefully finding this and seeing our reps, our people, just like you do now. So
Yeah, but he has a new owner now, so.
Yeah, but you should be on
who's that?
Tony Ruff at Bright Tile.
Okay, well, I guess he's still paid, but
Oh, yeah, I
maybe
think they
shouldn't
did
have
pay
called.
for this
I
year
don't know.
yet. That's right, they did pay for this year.
So we have some water watcher stuff. We still have the waterwatcher.org website, which you know, maybe we roll that over to here. I'm not quite sure. A lot of this needs to have more work done on it, or maybe some additional pages or additional information. And then we have the members area, which is the one where probably more of us are interested in. And we have the pictures of the board, chapter committees, the corporate billing, insurance, and the education. This is all on one page. The education information, forms, and the blue cards. You can do your online blue card from here.
Nice.
And also there's skimmer newsletters that I put a bunch of them in here. I don't have this month's in, but if you just click on this, it should bring the other one, the last month's up within a couple seconds. We don't have the fastest line here, but that's last month's. So it goes up to a different page. Yeah. So I've got 10 years worth or something like that at this point. This also will allow you to do a mobile view, which looks different on a phone. And so some of these pages will appear different. And probably on the skimmer newsletters, I'm thinking we may only have like 1 year's worth of data there. And say if you want more, go to the main site with your PC. It's too hard to put, you know, because you only get like 4 wide in each one. Also in the members area, we have a link to IPSSA.com for whatever that's worth at this point, and also, we have an oops, to the tabletop as well. And by the way, if you haven't seen it, we have new photos on the tabletop for, where's the photos? That photos? So we have new show photos here that Tom Graham took. It may take a second to load these. And
Yeah,
you could pan.
that the Region 7 Tabletop Committee has got a photographer
Yeah.
to be at that event, because I think we need to have photographers at more of our events to where we can, you know, keep have documents.
Yeah,
and
especially if we
photos.
have photos. I mean, the last ones we had was when Tom took them in 14.
I don't know why that
so
didn't
it's
show
awesome.
up. Let me see.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome recommendation. And,
So I'll have to check why that didn't load, but maybe it's just too much stuff. There's like 89 photos for the vendors, and
Oh, cool.
I don't know why it's not loading, but it should come up with a grid of photos, and then you can click on them and make them larger and pan through them all if you want to. Not sure what happened. It's more like these probably work, hopefully. This about what we had in the past, or this grid type format I think was here. Maybe it's just too much crunching for this setup here. Anyways.
Looks nice.
Yeah, so, let's see.
This is all launching in March.
Well, right now this is actually live, but we can cut it over to where we use our own domain names. Right now, the domain name for this is Gary D. Art. That's Gary's set it up that way. That's like his email address. So anybody can look at it at this point. And we will make it, it'll be poolservicepros.com because we have the Pool Pro section. But if you hit IPSSASanDiego.com, it'll forward directly to the home page. So you'll be able to use both those domains to get over there.
Good.
So, I don't know.
When?
Any questions or comments? I mean,
Yeah, when is this going to be accessible to the membership?
well, you know, I don't know if we need to vote on it or what, but we're
No,
ready. I
we
think
just
we're
need
ready
to-
to cut it
need to-
across.
Need to make the announcement and get the word out.
Basically, it takes me probably 20 minutes worth of work to move the domain names so they're pointing to the right servers, and we have to also buy the account.
Okay,
which,
so
you know,
can we do it by the next time, by the next skimmer
definitely.
published?
Uh-huh.
I think that would be a good time to where then, you know, in your email, you know,
Is there-
sending that
is
out,
there an initial
that would
payout?
send the links and everything for that.
I assume, so we'll have to talk about how we do this. If Gary or I fund it on our credit cards and then send you a bill, or
Yeah.
if you want us to set up an account for IPSSA, I don't know the best way to go at it, you know, to be honest with you.
Probably best to set it up through IPSSA and
Yeah.
the PO box.
Mhm.
I got a
So-
comment too, how about a billboard in May promoting pool service pros? People are looking for pool service.
A what?
A billboard,
Like
like
on
a
the
big
street?
billboard somewhere, right off the 8 freeway would be ideal.
We've never looked into billboards, believe me, we've looked into it for
How much
over
is it?
20 years.
How much?
Well, the problem is,
It's
you
like
get a shotgun
$5,000 a
effect.
month.
Not everybody who drives by it has a swimming pool. Not everybody who drives by it reads it.
But
Where do
that's
you
just
put it?
My idea of getting that website
Different
out there.
areas are different expenses.
Yeah.
We're not that big. We could use our $50,000.
Can it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, because if Josh is speaking,
He's not gonna be very long.
okay, good.
And not December, but.
This is
Yeah.
going up in
I think what we need to do is put this out there and then, as a working project, look at it. Do it for a year and see how it works.
All right, let's let Josh talk for a little bit, and then we'll do the raffles.
We're gonna show a quick video real fast. It's gonna be all my talking.
Let me get it at the beginning, I'm sorry.
Every day was about getting through without my son.
I lost my twin boys, Joshua and Christian, in a backyard swimming pool.
Planning a funeral for a almost 3-year-old is quite an experience.
I truly believe that if there was a safety fence at the pool that my twin boys got to, they would be alive today.
I'm Eric Lupton. I'm the president of Lifesaver Pool Systems. We manufacture removable mesh pool safety fencing. The company was founded in 1987 by my parents, who started the company in their garage. The garage was just big enough to fit the pool fence table, and my mom would sew the border on the mesh all night long. And then my dad would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and get a paper route. And whatever money he made from the paper route would go towards his advertising budget. And then when the sun came up, me and my infant brother would get up, and my mom would take care of us and get us ready for school and take care of us throughout the day. While she ran the office, answered the phone, booked appointments, did the scheduling. Then my dad would go out and try and sell pool fence. And if he sold one, he'd come back to the garage, make the fence, and then go back out and install it. And they did that for a while until they were able to get a little warehouse, a bigger warehouse, and the company kept growing until they retired in 2003. And I took it over then. I'd already been working for Lifesaver for a number of years. And, you know, I was only 21 years old, but we grew it from where it was then to 10 times the size to where it is now. We've got dealers throughout the country, throughout the U.S., in most major cities, and in 15 countries on 5 continents. So in 2011, I started the Save a Life program, where we donate mesh pool safety fences to families who have experienced a fatal or a non-fatal drowning.
I'm Paul DeBello, president of Just Against Children Drowning Foundation.
I met Paul DeBello at the National Drowning Veterans Alliance Conference, and immediately knew that he was the right guy to shepherd this program and to steward it and take care of it.
I lost my twin boys, Joshua and Christian, in a backyard swimming pool.
We selected him to be our chief teaching officer, which was an honor he graciously accepted.
My heart just swelled up. I was grateful. I was honored. And basically, what we do is we work together. We help families that have experienced fatal and non-fatal drownings nationwide.
He understands more than anybody what it takes to go through this.
A lot of times what I need to do is, talk to the parents, whether it's the mom or dad or the grandparents. So I have to make that hard call. But there's a lot of gratification right there once they find out that I lost my twin boys to a drowning.
And sometimes I think that might be worth even more than the pool fence that they have him to go to.
The only thing that matters is if there's a pool there with no fence, and
it was either a fatal or non-fatal drowning. Eric with Lifesaver Pool Fence will fence off that pool.
We also connected with Carrie Morrison of Live Like Jake.
I am the founder and executive director for the Live Like Jake Foundation.
She has an amazing nonprofit that she runs here in South Florida where she sponsors children to get infant survival swim training.
On November 30th of 2013, my son Jake snuck out of an unlocked door past 4 adults and 2 older children and made his way into the intercoastal waterway where he lost his life. When you lose a child, there is no greater pain, but when it's to something like a drowning, something that is preventable, it hurts even more. And it's something that every day we, as families that have experienced this tragedy, think about how we could have done things differently. And at the time of losing Jake, my daughter Julia was 3 months old, and I told my family, when she's old enough, we're enrolling her in those self-rescue swim lessons, and I saw that we chose a different route. I don't care what anyone says, she's going to learn to save herself. And it was just a few weeks into those lessons that we realized these lessons could have saved Jake's life, and they need to be available to families that can't afford them. So we started the Live Like Jake Foundation.
And she's also been crucial to help us find recipients for our pool fences. She connects us all the time with parents who need a pool fence.
Eric has put this program together that's helped countless families. I can think of a family that we helped out in Texas where the child actually got into an above ground swimming pool using a ladder. And I remember getting a phone call, and we actually went down there with another dealer named Jason, and we fenced off that pool. There's been situations where my own local community, where there was drowning and the families would either reach out to myself or to Eric, and we were there within a week or to 2 weeks' time, stops, fencing off the pool.
When the locks fail, the supervision fails, they go on a pet door, anything like that, that pool fence is what will keep the child from hitting the water. And the Save a Life program is saving lives. And it's also giving parents peace of mind that have experienced a drowning accident. And I just can't tell you, from a parent that's lost a child, how important that is and what it means to these families. And, one of the experiences we had was a local family to us that had a non-fatal drowning accident. We immediately reached out. We offered a scholarship for self-rescue swim lessons, as we do for any drowning accident. We also asked, is there a pool fence? And they did not have a pool fence. And so I reached out to Casey and Eric, and I'm like, I don't know if you guys will do the fence or not. It was no questions asked. Within a week, they had a brand new fence around the entire pool with a self-latching and locking gate. And it was just, it just solidified for me how important they are to our mission to end childhood drowning, and that they're not just in it for the business, they're in it to save lives, and we share the same mission. We work together hand in hand. I can't say enough positive things about Lifesaver Pool Fence and the Save a Life program.
I wouldn't own a car without a seatbelt, so why would you own a pool without a safety fence? I truly believe that if there was a safety fence at the pool that my twin boys got to, they would be alive today.
Drowning is the #1 cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 4 years old. And it's our mission to protect every pool on Earth. And through the Save a Life program, we get a little bit closer to protecting every pool. We don't care if the people who had a drowning incident are billionaires or just regular people. We want to make sure that pool is safe, and we give it free of charge, both the materials and the installation. Our Lifesaver dealers donate their time, their labor, and their talents, and we donate the materials to make sure that those pools where the drownings are taking place, where nothing like that ever happens again. And we want to donate more pool fences. So if you've had a drowning, or if you know somebody who's experienced a drowning, please connect them with us. We'll get them in touch with Paul to get them the help they need and make sure they get a pool fence to make that pool safer.
Cool. Good night.
So that was a video we put out in January. That kind of revamped it a little bit. It really just goes over how important safety is around pools. The stories from the gentleman is there. That story makes me choke up every single time. It followed up that his twin fell in the pool and trying to help his own twin out of the water, fell in the water himself. And it took 49 seconds for them both to drown. So it wasn't from lack of parenting or anything. With that said, if a fence, or if a pool has a safety fence, the one thing that needs to work is the gate. And that's what Ken had mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my sample here to kind of make a gate not work and show you guys how to repair it. Although I do have a really cool YouTube video, which I won't show now, that does kind of go over how to adjust our gate. It may or may not work for the other gates out there. The principle is going to be the same. It's got an upright, it should have springed hinges with a magnet latch. So the principle of adjusting someone else's gate versus my gate should be the same. But if anyone wants that QR code so they can, if they're at a pool and want to look it up and see if they can't adjust the gate themselves, that takes seconds, 30 seconds to a minute if you kind of understand how it works. And it's something you guys can do for your customers and just know that that gate is working behind you. Because the last thing, we're carrying all that stuff to the backyard and we go through the gate. It's annoying. Sometimes they don't have the key. So you try to go in and it doesn't shut behind you, then you're leaving that pool unsafe. With that said, if they do lock the gate, those fences are removable. Do not unclip the fence just to clean the pool that day and leave it open, because we can't. Obviously, you can unclip it, add a section, remove a pole, walk in. I mean, my own guys have done it. But if you do not remember to put that fence back and clip it together so that it's tight, you've left a dangerous pool, and you've got parents that are relying on that fence to be there when they need it. So ask them for a key, ask me for a key. I don't have every brand's key. I try to keep multiple keys with me.
Thanks for the question regarding that.
Yeah.
While you're on that thought. So I've had some clients actually not have gates, but they just have the full fencing around. So I've got to unlock them to get in, and then not you maybe specifically, but they've had a second hole in the concrete dug so that they can set that section like in it to access back door. And it is super tight, but why would somebody not want to get a gate as to just have regular fencing all the way around?
Yeah. So many customers will opt out of a self-latching, self-closing gate to save money. That's the short answer to it. So we do charge for additional gates. I've actually gotten to the point where I'm including a gate in every installation for free. And the additional gates are what they're paying for, because I don't believe that a fence is complete and safe without one. Although, because it's a removable fence, you can have what we call a manual opening, where yes, you have to unclip it, remove a pole, walk in and out. I don't know if anyone's seen that YouTube video where the dad flies over the fence and dives into the pool because they had a manual opening. They left it open for the party. He's way over here. The toddler walks through the manual opening and starts drowning, and you just see him like Superman dive over the fence. That's why we want gates. If anyone has a pool that has no gate with the fence, we can add one in. It's a couple extra holes and a little bit of custom work that I have to do to cut the mesh, but we can add a gate in. That's really my presentation tonight, was more about safety. A pool that doesn't have a fence and has little ones, I would recommend it. Ask them if the little ones are in swim lessons. I mean, my daughter's 6 and she's been in swim lessons for as long as I can remember. I still continue those because I never know if she's going to be at a friend's house that doesn't have a fence, and I want to know that she can swim. Yeah.
So what kind of cost is it on, is it sections, like 5 each sections? So I guess you got an idea, Ken was always asking what kind of cost.
So are you asking like kind of general costs?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we have different levels of fence that we do. We have a standard fence and a premium. And so that price range is gonna range anywhere between $25 to $35 a foot installed. So for your average size pool, in San Diego is about 120 linear feet. Okay, but for easy math, because I don't have a calculator, we're going to say 100. So your average price of a fence is about $2,500 to the customer. For you guys, we have wonderful referral programs, but that wasn't really my aim tonight. It was more for you guys to just think about, is a pool safe? And we see the little ones. I had a pool, just quick story, that I was cleaning it, and the little boy, 3 or 4 years old, was running around, jumping in and out of the top step. And I went and found the parent, and was like, hey, this is complete, like, she was a little offended that he had swim lessons, he knows what he's doing. I was like, no, this is unsafe, and I will remove myself from this situation, cleaning your pool, if he's gonna be unsupervised in the backyard. Like, it is very dangerous. So even for those who have swim lessons.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna make a recommendation that, speaking of like swim lessons and all, is that we as a chapter, with us having a presence on the internet, where we allow swim schools to, to be on there. I know 3 companies or 3 people, a couple of them are sole proprietors, that provide swim lessons. And so they do some, for free for underserved communities, and also for paid. But I say we let them, or we set up a section, whether it's in the Water Watcher or some other webpage, that we list those as referrals, to where we could refer people if we have clients that have young kids that may want to provide swim lessons for their kids.
Absolutely, and if anyone's looking for a recommendation, I mean, mind if you have some, I have about 30 swim schools and private teachers that we refer, and anytime I've gone out and given an estimate, and whether they go with me or not, I email them the list in their area. Because drowning is the #1 cause of death for children under the age of 5 that is 100% preventable. There's absolutely no reason for the 930 deaths last year in San Diego County. If there was a fence or some sort of barrier or swim lessons.
I'll make a motion, with that list that you have. It may contain even people that I know, but that I make a motion that we allow or be able to put that on our web site.
Second that.
Is there discussion?
We can put it in the skim rating, couldn't we, or not? Anybody reads that?
Nobody reads that. I think just on somewhere on the web page where Paul has enough.
Yeah, we have a place.
Expertise and knowledge as far as where the best place to put that. But then maybe it's as a second page that's alongside of our chapter supporters, but just where we as pool professionals will have that resource to be able then to refer our clients to if that's something that's needed.
That's a good idea.
Without them, having to, because in my opinion, we shouldn't have to charge a chapter support fee or any type of fee for something like that provides a service like that.
Yeah.
You mean
Great.
a service that makes money from teaching swimming lessons?
And also provide swimming lessons to people that can't afford to
So you don't provide free advertising to the swim coach?
Yes, that can provide a life skill that can prevent a drowning, yes.
We don't want another 930 kids drowning this year.
Yes.
It would be nice for my customers if, I know my customers have good fences and good don't. You got some kind of, something you can stuff in our billing, and we can send our bill out.
Yes, so I don't, I mean, I'm here every month, but I have trifolds that are great for mailers. That just, in fact, it has our corporate website on there. So, and that list that you're talking about is actually, you just put in your zip code, and it will find the local swim instructors in the area as well.
Every member, I believe, is eligible or can receive from IPSSA the water watcher tags and the
trifle, like you're talking about, the safety information that you can put into your building.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm always talking to my customers about the south latching gates.
Uh-huh.
Am I liable, even though I constantly remind them, and sometimes I just get tired of reminding them, and they don't put a south latching gate on their gate? I'm not talking about your fence.
Yeah.
I'm talking about on their gate itself.
My recommendation, Nick, would be that you do that through email, where you have some documentation where you did, and that could include, main drain covers that are dislodged. It could be it could even be having the wrong type of pump. If you have like a 3-horse pump on a single main drain without a SBRS, then yeah, stuff like that, so.
Along the same lines,
So anything,
Yeah.
just document, that, but send that to
Just
where
put
you
it in
actually-
writing so that it's.
Something in writing, document it.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't want to take up a lot of time this evening, but we have, we actually have like a safety evaluation that goes over, we're getting new ones made, that already included the safety gates, the latches, the keys, the alarms, but we're including now, drains, pumps, chemical storage, safety vac caps, or the on the vacuum lines. But to answer your question directly, I think Mike answered it better. I mean, I tell everyone just CYA, cover your ass. Yeah.
I have a question, and this is piggybacking on what Jim asked, Mike. Is it wrong or is it illegal to put somebody's phone number and add their information for swim lessons for free on our digital display, our website, the skimmer, all that stuff? Is there a problem with doing that?
What you need to do is check with corporate. You need to run that by an attorney. What needs to be done is you need to have a disclaimer at the bottom that says, this is no recommendation that we have. These are just people that you can.
I think John answered that better than I could. Again, CYA doesn't just stand for setting gas.
That's why we have corporate to answer these questions.
Yeah. The list I have, and I can give to you guys, is really just a list that we've compiled, or the Lifesavers compiled, of all the ISR instructors.
Just send it to me as a regional director. And
Yeah,
I'll
I will do
look at
that.
it, because maybe it's something we sent to all the chapters.
Yeah.
All the reasons.
I mean, I do that as a standard procedure. I bid a fence. They get a list of the instructors. It's just me saying, hey, I did all the research for you.
Send it, and then I could coordinate it if it makes sense to send to Paul to put on, then I'll coordinate with Paul.
Absolutely, I'll make a note and have that
Cool.
done. So,
Alright.
any other questions?
Yes.
No, raffle.
I know, that's what I'm ready to get to. Hey, you guys, I appreciate, thanks, Josh. Thank you. Hey, you guys, I appreciate, I'm sorry we're running a little behind schedule and stuff, but I think we've had some good discussions tonight, and I appreciate all the feedback and questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Are we gonna do it up here? Let's do it up here.
Do you want to do it?
No, just bring it up here, the table. Have a seat. Okay, I think, are we at $100?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that for the chips or the?
No,
Yeah, the chips. Chips.
He's the president.
you have the list? Just go read the number. Shoot, I think this is something we know. Number 2.
What? It's a single digit.
Wait, what are the last three?
Wait. Who's number 2?
That's the chip number 2.
Chip number. So we're getting the members' names.
I think the directory are the one thing.
Mike Anderson, your president win.
Rolling over.
Boom, down it is.
Rolling over.
I'll text Mike and let him know you did.
Yeah.
$25. $25. Oh, I didn't get my blue ticket. That's okay. Yeah, I'm good.
That's okay. That's
Blue ticket.
I should pull more off of it, right?
Okay, but this one now, okay.
Okay, we're gonna do the big gifts.
The $25.
Oh, those, the 25, okay.
213.
213.
213.
213.
212.
Yeah, last three.
Somebody right after me.
213.
I'm
Last three
212.
digits. 213.
I know, right?
I won, but we're gonna do it again. Pick my own number.
225.
225.
I'll pull another one. That's me.
Are you shitting?
It's not like we have a million people here. 217.
That's me.
There we go.
James Murray.
That's hilarious.
I said I didn't want it.
You're like, where's my...
I was joking.
Yeah, well, all the chips are back.
Wait, keep the tickets in there because we got some more rounds.
All right. To give everybody a chance, we're gonna do Brianna's bucket of tabs here.
Bucket of tabs. Ready? 215.
215. 215.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it was me, but...
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know where my ticket's at. That's hilarious.
No, it's okay. Just get the bucket.
Here's
What's next?
Another bucket of tabs. Get everybody a chance at the big bucks.
220.
No, you never got it. He's not a member yet. There he is.
Come on. He's signed in. He's signed up.
Yeah. So, who got this?
200.
You signed the transfer, so I guess he's official.
Yeah, he's on the list.
You got a ticket on the way in, so.
There you go.
What's next? What are you gonna give away?
Take it whenever you want.
What are you gonna give
If you
away?
want John's job, Greg, you gotta do it. You gotta do better.
I don't want his job. He can keep it.
So,
Adam, make your present.
Adam, you said you want the bucket back?
I'll take his job.
Donate the bucket.
Yeah, raffle the bucket off. Come on, give it out.
No, what's the better one though?
Hey, the bucket's freaking awesome, dude.
Bucket, leak detection bucket.
What's in the bucket?
No, that's empty. I just
empty.
brought all the product in it.
What'd you hear?
Things in it, put some.
Hey, there's four tests together.
On a bucket with some stuff. What's the number?
A bucket with some fiber clear, 2 t-shirts.
It's what we call a cool man surprise.
The number is 214.
There you go.
What size do you need? Look at this. Check the size and make sure.
What's next?
Either extra larges or double.
What's next?
These are.
What does it say? Who are you advertising? Who is that?
Well, if you look at the tags, all of them are rolled, so you can read the tag.
I've got a white t-shirt.
Yeah, pull another number.
I don't get it. Where's the cost of the titanium? So I got the guy was on.
Okay, another fiber clear and a t-shirt.
Woohoo!
216.
216.
I got it.
Not personally, but I met his associates.
It's either extra large.
What else?
Yeah, that's weird.
Roll another row.
213. Next number is 213.
I'm 212, I'm 213.
213.
213.
Hey, moving along.
The next number is 223.
223.
Bill. Go for it.
Everybody gets a shirt.
Somebody else? The next number is 224. Step up and get some.
224.
224.
You get a bag and a shirt.
Bag and the shirt. I'll take the bag.
We don't have a shirt your size, sorry.
How much is it?
Yeah, Yeah, but I want to sell it for 7.
215.
Yeah, okay.
Just allows the over 5 years, just allows to switch out and just to
217.
I didn't get one yet.
217.
It's not for everyone.
She complains about
219.
It's not for everyone, but for the
What
ones
on that?
who
No, I didn't
2
get one.
years, I see it firsthand, 3 years. On it. Still running. Still running.
I see a lot of people doing the copper little tubes in the pump baskets.
Yeah.
It's not all of it together and it's not running through it.
You can actually wash it. It's on the sausage.
222.
222. Right.
221. 225. Almost all done. And the last winner is 218.
218.
I didn't get anything.
Take a shirt. Take a shirt, Ken. You can feel like a winner.
212.
Did you say 218?
That's me.
Yeah, 218.
Well, that's everybody.
Hey, these cups, by the way, are the measures for the, there's 2 cups for the measuring for the.
I need one. I need one.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. I'm gonna take that.
Thanks, you guys.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you.
gentlemen.
Meeting adjourned.
All right. Like those?
You guys gonna I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. The more you put on there.
No, this is I think it's the. It must be. Do you have a card too?
Well, hopefully by next year we'll have it.
Yeah. You got the cell, right?
Yeah.